Hey, RPM Trade Vietnam and this bitch. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on out this motherfucker? This fucking draft bullshit. Can as soon as anybody can get in here, uh, whoever's in here, whoever may get in here who know a little bit something about the draft. I ain't had no time today or last night to really look into it much. But I've been seeing the little things here and there and shit. Is this shit official or not? I've been seeing the age range. I've been seeing a little bit about who all can and should be involved in the draft. I read a little bit about that. This article was weird because it made a big deal about the draft issue, but it didn't go into great detail, and the article was real short, so I got to find a better one than that one because it didn't say much. But I want to know, I need to know what else is going on with this draft shit. Now, I've said this before 100 fucking times because it seemed like it makes sense. I've heard other people say it in various ways all the time. I'm not the only one saying this shit, but I do believe some of the shit that I say and the angles that I'm taking on what it is that we're supposed to be examining, I be taking some really good angles because I'm trying to look for a perspective on these topics that's number one, true, without fabricating or exaggerating the issue. And number two, being so undeniable that in order to come to a whole nother conclusion than what I'm coming to, you're going to have to prove to me that I am missing a big part of the story of how things go, or a big piece of information that'll change everything in my perspective or something, because I really think that some of the shit I be pointing out that I'm absolutely right in, and I have cornered any disagreement that anybody can possibly have about what it is that I'm saying. World leaders that call for war never go to war. Their kids don't either. It's undeniable. It's an observable fact. You got to be a fucking pussy to want war so bad that you call for other people to do it while you hide behind the fact that you're not going to go, though. When you said go fight over there, you didn't mean you too. You didn't put your boots on. You didn't load no gun. You didn't man no fucking warcraft of any kind to go stand behind this shit that you're calling for. That's fucked up. If you voted for Biden and now they want to do this shit, you should have to go, and your kids too. Period. Whoever voted for Biden, they should pull from the ballots to do the draft. If that don't seem like more honorable or a more direct, specific, fair way to handle this this military problem that we have with our numbers, if you want to resolve that, whoever voted for this administration should go. I don't know who can argue with that. Who would say that somebody who used all of their political energy that they possibly could, but they've fallen short of keeping Biden out of office? They played the game. They cast their vote. They rallied. They did this and that. They had protests. You might even held press conferences. You might even be so deep into it that you've done investigations on Biden and his fucking bitch ass son with the crazy shit that they've got involved in. You could oppose them so much that you can be at the forefront for all of those different things to try to address how bogus of a president Joe Biden is. Wouldn't matter. They could draw your kids up to go fight for the guy that you've been trying to stop from being into office with your vote and shit all of this time. A draft or a free country in and of itself, regardless of a draft or not, bro, free or not, none of it matters. It makes no sense at all that if you have a numbers problem in your military, whoever voted for that administration that's calling for that has to be the one to go fight. If you had to vote with your life, you wouldn't settle for the lesser of two evils. Then you would get very picky and choosy about who you were going to vote for, and you would be sure that they didn't seem like they were just thirsty and hungry to get involved in conquest over minerals, to tease this idea of a nuclear conflict, you would be sure that would be number one on your list of requirements when trying to vet a potential presidential candidate. How much do you like to fight, motherfucker? How you feel about the fighting part, right? So there's that. The taxation that they go through and how they are extracting money from our economy when we already see that we're going through all this bullshit. They just put us through the C-19 bullshit and how that affected the economy. After that, they think it's a good idea to start dumping money into funding another country's fucking bullshit that just so happens to be in the middle of some investigations, international investigations that should be louder than what they are. This other shit is still on the show, but there's been some calls and interest about investigations into what the fucking Biden family is doing with this international fucking relationships that they have with other countries, China, Ukraine. Come on, man. Come on. This is what the fuck it is that I'm saying. That I don't understand how it's even debatable even for a fucking second. That's why anybody that fucking objects to what it is that I'm doing lets me know right away that they're not smarter than me, not more aware, they're not more American, they're not more vigilant about fighting for the freedom that y'all pretend to be trying to honor and respect. Because when you see me, you should go, I'm surprised I don't see 1,000 of y'all out here right now. Because goddamn, I understand that something's wrong and sometimes you gotta shoot shit. You're not gonna back them down with a vote. This is where the vote has gotten us where we are right now. You think keep on voting is going to fix with it, man? Shut the fuck up talking to me, motherfucker. Y'all are weird. This is why I don't be respecting nobody. Butt Crack News Network, what up? Examine the police, yeah, that's the first line of duty, but before we can even get to that, see, Butt Crack News Network, let me explain something to you that even though I understand that you respect and appreciate what it is that I'm doing, I respect and appreciate what it is that you're doing too. It's necessary because different people are at different levels of their awareness and what it is that they think that they are capable of and willing to do in regards to chin checking bad government to keep the dragon at bay. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to have to really go there with them. So any little thing we can do to call them out, expose them, shame them, maybe get people out of offices and shit like that. But going against the government on a local level and only addressing the police is cool because somebody needs to be doing that. But my mind is always so far beyond some of that stuff on a national and a global level that I don't even think we got time to even fuck around with them like that. I don't even care about the little stuff like that. It's hard for me to care for real because I feel like that's busy work. We're never going to address them and fix government by addressing the police. That's why when I get out here and do my open carry demos, I hate when people call me an auditor. I'm not an auditor. I'm not calling the police out for the police to come talk to me so I can prove to them how they're wrong. I'm talking to the people. Man, fuck the dumb shit. Motherfuckers wanted me to run for a political office, a local office. I'm not doing that. I don't want to beat none of them. I don't even think that you can fucking save it from the inside like that. You have to save it from the outside. Once you make yourself one of them, you have to shift lanes a little bit, that it is you having to call yourself a politician, which is separate from the people by definition, by action, by way of life. You become a different thing when that is who you are. And it's hard to reconnect because you got all of these people you got to work with, stipulations and certain order of business to even conduct the attempt to change laws and political issues on a local level is tough. It's hard to do. I don't even be giving a fuck about none of that shit anymore. I'm telling people, stop trusting them all. We need a big act of peaceful non-compliance, and you got to be ready to fight when they become sore losers. When you chin check their bullshit without shooting. They want us to think that fighting and shooting and all this other shit is the only way to launch a revolution, so that if somebody wants a revolution but their mind is stuck there, they will do that and inevitably look like the bad guy, be told that they ignored a whole bunch of legal opportunities to change things like a normal fucking person, and they should have did that because change always happens through those means. Blah 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 blah. They'll just paint you like that and shoot you down if you think a lone wolf thing or an act of violence at all, even with a big ass group of people, is going to be what does it to get us the revolution. Not finna happen. Peaceful non-compliance on a mass scale where none of us are doing any fighting at all, not at all. That's how you get them, because you can shake their shit up and you're gonna make them fight you. Because they're going to have to stop you, but they're not going to know how to stop you if you're not even fighting. When you become the unstoppable force against what they believe is an immovable object, which is their illusion of authority, but that's untrue. That's not the role that they play in this. We should just be the unstoppable force and then blow right through them. Like a 2-year-old blowing snot through some fucking single-ply toilet paper. Just like that. Total fucking mess of they bullshit. By wrecking they shit without fighting their ass. Don't fight them. Fight them in defense. And you got to be ready for that. If you're not going to go this far, it's hard for me to say, let me go sit in on a city council meeting so I can go tell them, I don't like the way police handle this shit. Man, they do almost nothing there. It's not a waste of time because they need to know that. But we need to do that from time to time to go tell them that they fucking up. But then when we do it, we need to also tell them that they are part of a national fraternity of police. We recognize that. They need to be addressed on a national level. We could change the police in Lynn County and get them to act exactly the way we would want them to act in our dream world imagination of how the police should be. And the rest of the country will march on in the way that they are. On a national level, they will only notice us in brief news if they even told the truth about all of the news about how we reformed law enforcement in Lynn County to a dream state of what freedom really supposed to be like. They will look at it and go, oh, that's an anomaly. They will also fucking make the attempt to keep that from spreading. Of course. For the most part, things will move on as they are on a national and global level to push America off the cliff and into a fiery pit of hell because they want this shit fucked up, flushed down the fucking drain so they can move forward with the New World Order that could not exist if America is going to stand as it is today. Ain't no such thing as a New World Order and America being left alone. No such thing. The two things are contradicting ideas. That's why you have to, when you know that sounds like it makes sense, even in a hypothetical, you don't even got to believe nothing that I'm saying. I'm talking about hypothetically. Use your fucking imagination. A person that can't use their imagination to take themselves out of what they think and or feel, and it's mostly feelings with you soft motherfuckers anyway. But if you can't take yourself out of that to pause for a second and take on the position of someone who disagrees with you so you can see what it feels like, so you can better examine what it is that they're trying to protect or gain, try to come to some ground level human understanding of where it is that they're coming from, you'll do better to destroy their illusion of what it is that they're talking about if you can put yourself in their shoes honestly and sincerely for a moment. None of y'all actually really do that shit though, because if you did, you would say that trying to save us from this tyranny by going to a political standing up against they bullshit by going to sit in the city hall to talk about one racist, corrupt cop, man, fuck him. Tell him that it's up, and that in the idea of a revolution that they start fighting, and then we got to fight back in defense when we reveal to the world that they just want to be tyrannical and everything they're doing is wrong, and they deserve this shit a long time ago. Fuck them. And then we get into peaceful non-compliance. When they start fighting, everybody's on the fucking chopping block. These cops better take them fucking uniforms off and go on about their business. They're going to have to be one of us. If there's ever a hypothetical where we challenge the government in a peaceful way and they start spazzing, no government official or anybody being paid by the government getting tax money to fucking buy all of your fucking guns and your uniform and shit, you motherfuckers better stay out of sight. And I'm not threatening anybody. I just don't think that it will go well. Who the fuck can be involved in a fucking political social uproar of revolution in this country started by whatever means you can possibly imagine? I don't care if it was good or bad. I'm telling you to use your imagination. Imagine that being the case. Do you think a cop can fucking be running around all willy-nilly in his fucking uniform? No, he can't. No, you can't, bro. Because anybody who said this shit is up, fuck this, fuck that, blah, 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 and then they standing on that because we believe that it's us versus them, us versus government, a cop is not going to be cool out here. He's not going to be okay out here. He's not going to want to be a cop anyway because he's not going to want to be held responsible for being pulled in 6, 7, 8 different ways when people need fucking help, while at the same time he himself becomes a target. They already feel like they're being targeted now, like the public hates them. Boy, if the government says, fuck y'all, we run this shit, ain't no constitution, ain't no nothing, martial law, we lock y'all ass up, man, police gonna have to stay out the way now, right? I'm not worried about them. I'm at the finish line already waiting for their ass, bro. I don't give a fuck about none of that other stuff, bro. I do, but I don't. I care and I get it, but it's not enough, bro. It's not enough. You can throw rocks at the throne and it ain't gonna be enough. We need a big act of national defiance against the federal government, man. That's what we need. Nothing else is going to work. That's what I think, bro. But they take the tax money, buy all the bombs and the weapons and all the bullshit, and then now they're trying to tell you that if you got a child between the ages of 18 and 26, they might send your child to die for this shit. And I think that if they're not gonna resort back to, man, who voted for Biden? Y'all going first, and your kids. If they're not, if they don't think to do that, that's crazy to me. And people who voted for Biden had to be like, man, that's fair. Y'all already on the chopping block anyway with everybody else with this draft talk that they're doing. Don't feel upset if they say we only talking to the people that voted for the Biden administration. Don't be upset if they do that. You should be thinking, okay, I stand by my vote. If all of a sudden you get offended or you feel singled out, then stop caring about that vote so much. Stop trying to get me to do it, and then stop voting for the lesser two evils. Stop giving these motherfuckers credit like they're fucking worthy of a vote, because if you vote for them, you look just like somebody who loves this motherfucker. And you might only kind of like them because you're choosing lesser two evils. You don't even really know them. All of these motherfuckers are evil. All you gotta do is just look a little bit and you'll find reason to say, even if some of these conspiracy theories and some of these naysayers and all of their fucking ranting and raving about Biden, if 10% of it is true, we have a problem. You only need 10%, first of all. Secondly, if all of these motherfuckers are doing that, and I supposedly support this motherfucker, if I even support him a little bit, I look like somebody that loves him to death. The votes look the same. If you love him to death and you vote for Biden with all your heart, your vote looks just like the other motherfucker who voted because, and lesser two evils, they just don't like Trump and all this other political fucking bullshit with y'all dumbasses. Don't fucking talk to me about nothing. Draft these nuts, nigga. I bet you my son don't go nowhere. And motherfuckers think people be talking tough because it's the internet. I'm telling you from my heart and soul. I cannot imagine watching a government that I've been fucking talking shit against for all this time show up to my son's place and say, you might die for what we got going on, let's go. Do that look like I'm going to be able to control myself? I might fucking do things that I regret later. I'm telling you, in the heat of the fucking moment, I'm not going to sit back and casually do that. A custody battle over this same child is what woke me up. There's no way in hell I'm going to watch them fail me when I tried to save my son from an abusive fucking home with his mother and the fucking boyfriend that she went and got, who was at the time being in the middle of a case of being accused of touching 2 kids. And my son was what? 7, 8, 9 years old when this dude came around. And he's in the house with a guy who's being accused of touching 2 kids, his 2 siblings, young children. The fucking report even said that they believe that the kids have been scared, have been threatened to recant their story because things that the kids were saying, when they got interviewed again and counseled, they start going back on it. They start being nervous. They start refusing to even address certain things or answer questions and all that. They said there's something wrong with the kids now. Something changed. All of this was going on. And the court system knew that because they gave me this report, because this report of all of this shit had nothing to do with the case that I got going on when I was fighting for custody of my son. It's unrelated, and they already had it, and I only got it because they sold it. They showed it to me because they sent it to me in the fucking mail when my son went to fucking foster care about this shit, and I didn't even know. And I'm in the middle of a fucking custody case to fight for him, and nobody knew I was here. The system crazy. The system that did all that to me and kept my son in harm's way like that is now also going to tell me that as much as I've been talking shit about the government, it will be my son that will have to go over there and fight and possibly die over there, where they might not even recover his body. Don't you know that's how crazy war is? Y'all talk about war and y'all sit back and y'all let a stranger like Biden or Trump convince y'all that it's time for war, and you don't even know this motherfucker, and y'all don't even be sincerely considering what war really is. It's scary. And I ain't never been there, but I got imagination enough, and when people talk to me, I fucking sincerely listen to every word they say. I've heard war stories. I appreciate them enough to know that I don't want my son involved in that high level of violence, which sounds like a virtuous thing, that I don't want my son in war. High levels of violence with people who he didn't vote for, against people who he don't know, under orders that might be classified, that we might never hear the truth of. We don't even know who killed Kennedy. All of that shit sound crazy, and I don't understand how there's a person in the world, patriotic or not, they can listen to me and say that I just said something wrong and that my son should fight if he gets drafted. Y'all are out of y'all fucking minds, man. I'm never going to go for this. And if they show up doing that shit, I'm not fucking playing with y'all. Man, bye. It was nice meeting y'all. It was nice meeting you, because I don't give a fuck what happens to me after that. I'm not going to stand by and watch that shit. You out of your mind. Y'all failed me with that bullshit family court justice system, and it woke me up. And now I'm not going to stand here and watch you tell my son that he got to go die for Biden, when the people that voted for Biden would be uncomfortable if it was them, only them, to go fight. They'd go, oh, but why not them? This is unfair. Now all of a sudden you don't got no support for the vote that you had. Man, I hope all y'all die. All y'all, bruh. You voted for Biden and you won't go over there, man, kiss my dick. Y'all some pussies, bruh. That's a pussy-ass way to do this shit. Y'all not taking seriously what you trying to convince me that you are taking seriously. You don't sound serious to me. Wouldn't it be more serious that if this motherfucker started talking this shit, you went, oh, no draft. We're not doing that. We got thirsty fucking Biden supporters that are eager to fucking give our lives to our dear country and our dear leader. Where y'all at? Where are you? Where are you at? Somewhere being a pussy. Fuck y'all. RPM Trey Vietnam and this bitch. My son not going nowhere. I don't give a fuck. Motherfucking. Psst. Do I have to? I don't have to say it. Y'all know. Y'all know how I'm coming. And what's crazy is that haters out there go, he's just talking tough. He's not going to do it. First of all, you don't know me. Secondly, if I say this to the right government official, they going to treat me like I might be serious. You the one playing games on another side of a fucking internet connection, acting like you know me, like I can't be about that, like I don't mean that shit, like I wouldn't ride like that for my son. They want my son to ride like that for a country that hates him. I'm going to ride like that for the son that I love. I bet you they don't come to my house in peace. They're not going to come to my house in peace with that. Y'all going to have to bring some military shit to even come get them. Not finna work. If that ain't finna work out for y'all, I'm surprised that y'all say this kind of crazy shit out loud. Motherfucker, don't you know we can see you? New World Order, I shoot at the New World Order. There's nothing to lose. I think they gonna win probably. And in regards to the New World Order and what they got going on and how likely they are to win and what we have to lose, I don't want to survive so I can live the way they want to live. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They don't care either. They don't care. They like the death. They don't care who dies. I don't know why I'm looked at as the bad guy, like I'm the only one speaking violence. They move on violence and violence alone. Great violence. The biggest acts of violence that the world has ever seen has come from government control. They killed over 260 million people of their own people. Governments of the world has, in the past 100 years, 260 million people have died by the hands of their own government worldwide. Outside of a declared war, it doesn't take a civil war for this to be the case. They just kill their own people for whatever reason. 260 million people. They are soul eaters, Kimberly. You right. They're soul eaters. They do the shit ritualistically. They still honoring like ancient shit that people don't think that they are. But then you wonder why the American $1 bill looks the way it does. Take them seriously. You know that they're serious people. When they designed that dollar, they were serious. They mean all of that shit. DC and what DC looks like. DC is a Masonic fucking city. There's a headquarters of Masonic Temple. It's in DC. All of this shit is trying to tell y'all something. That's weird to me when I say that they still performing human sacrifice and rituals and all this other weird shit, and people act like I'm fucking weird. You are weird. Y'all are weird. Look at that fucking dollar. You think these motherfuckers playing about what they put on the dollar? They don't do shit arbitrarily for absolutely no reason because they thought it was cute. It looks cool. Y'all not respecting them enough. Y'all don't respect them enough. I respect them enough to understand their power and to know that they want to flex even more, and that they also might win that shit too. I'm trying to respect them enough to do that. To be honest about who they are and what they doing. They good at it, bro. I can't get my kids to clean their room. They are running the world. How they do that? How y'all do that, bro? What it takes to do that will also bring with it an ego that will make the rest of you normal motherfuckers look like peons. You're turds in a toilet. You are trash. You are nothing. They will flush you. You know people in your personal life that get a little cocky, thinking that they better than everybody. What the fuck you think the heads of all these industries think about you? Y'all not even using y'all brain to trying to think psychologically about what's going on here. You know they don't care about you if they're way up there. You know they don't. Think about how human beings act, how people act when they think that they're above people. How do they act? Y'all will figure it out. Shout out to the chat, man. Kimberly, Miguel, Rick James, of course. People trip on angels that look like Trey. Fuck them. Hey, man, look. Oh, bot cops, the robo dog and all that. The first time I seen one of them robo dogs, I said, oh, they gonna put a gun on that. How long did it take for them to fucking give flight to human beings with the fucking aviation industry and airplanes, the Wright brothers? They got their shit off. we started advancing in that direction, and it didn't take too long before we put bombs and guns and shit on it. It didn't take that long at all. We do that to everything. The robot dog, I fucking knew this, bro. And they do this shit with predictive programming by putting this type of shit in movies that we've been seeing since we were kids and beyond, even before we were born. This is the kind of stuff that you have to say. If all of these things are pointing to these things that you can even see in retrospect, seem to be a coherent effort to do something to us with the predictive programming that we're now seeing coming into fruition, just know that you will find other things that'll say that they are also planning this for a predictable reaction from us, so they can give us the predictable solution that they have in the bag that will only lead to more control. The predictive programming in Hollywood and their music and shit goes right along with the gematria that are telling you that they're planning this shit. All of this shit goes like this. It's all saying the same thing. It's all saying the same thing. That they planning it, that they need to keep you fucking stupid and scared in order for it to work. So if you have to do something that might be fearful or take a lot of courage, for you to say some things and expose some things that the average man wouldn't even understand, you might be on the right path maybe, and you should go there so you can get them feelings. Go look for those feelings. Conquer fears about standing up to this shit and learn something new. That when you hear, you go, the average man might not know this, and I should fucking spread this shit around. So that the average man can say, I'm a little bit above average now. I'm at least aware of certain things. So that if other things come into fruition later on in the future, that seems to lend some support to these ideas, I will reflect and remember and begin to put the pieces together. That's why I tell y'all, wherever you are on your gun journey, just buy a gun, any gun, I don't care how cheap it is. You'll grow. Just get in here. Just get in here. Conspiracy theories sound crazy to you? Fuck that. What would make somebody say that crazy shit? Maybe it's something that you will understand if you heard all the little reasons that made somebody come to the conclusion to say something out loud that sounds crazy to your ass. You don't know everything. So now you got to fall back. And if anybody's against what it is that I'm saying, when opening your minds to all conspiracy theories, at least to give yourself a personal chance to say, no, that's stupid. You determine if it's stupid or not. Don't let another man go, man, don't even go down that road. That's just stupid. That's dumb. You less of a person to do that. You got to go look yourself. And then whatever you come to the conclusion with, when you look yourself, I say, okay, so be it. At least you looked yourself. Give yourself a fair fucking chance to be your own man or woman and decide for yourself. If me bringing that perspective to different conspiracy theories makes y'all look like, oh, Trey must be stupid because he's trying to entertain this conspiracy theory. I'm trying to figure it out for myself instead of listening to y'all. Can I do some investigation, please? The fuck? Dumb. Frame of mind, y'all approach on a lot of shit is what's holding us back, and they're laughing at you because you can't figure out not to fight other people because of skin color. If you can't figure that out, they laugh at you. They make you do it on purpose because they don't care about any of us, black or white. But when they can make you guys fucking fight, and then you do, they go, ha ha, stupid. You wouldn't do that unless we coerced you into doing this. Unless we manipulated y'all into doing this. And then the manipulations be serious. They be heartfelt things that we can understand why we have this racial aggression, black and white, in this country, because they did some real shit with the slavery shit. And they did that real shit to foster the fake fight they want y'all to have before, during, and after about a racial divide. They got to hit you with something real that your heart can't deny. So then you can stay there. When really they've been fighting brown-skinned people over resources. It's not about black or white. It's about the resources that are fucking plentiful. Just so happens to be plentiful in places where people with brown skin live. That's it though, bro. But the world is rich with these minerals all over the place. And I'm pretty sure that they haven't scoured the earth enough to know that these minerals are nowhere else. It's just that when things pop up, they go over there to take that shit. And they have to damage these places economically and politically to do it. For anybody who would do this to the world like this, don't be mad at me if I say they all deserve to be shot in the face. When I say shit like that, people look at me like, that's violent. Did you not hear who the fuck I was talking about when I said that though? Y'all not even listening to me. Haters don't even be listening to me. I can tell. Zach is in here. I'm about out of here. Zach says, Trey, when you are confronted by bad people who... Man, Zach, your comments are always like cut off where I can't see the whole thing. I'm trying to see where I can see the whole thing. Bad people who lie to you lie to your face, and you say nothing back to them. You can't let that. Oh man, Zach, I can't even see the rest of your comment, man. I can't see the rest. Oh, okay, hold on. Can't let that happen. I'm talking about things you let. Things that I let some, the other people, they said some shit that I let go unchecked. Man, I said, once I ended that live stream, I was like, man, there's so much shit that I wish that I had the chance to say, but trying to stay on topic, trying to address things, trying to defend myself, man, that shit was rough, man. But Zach, that's crazy that you would say that, because I meant to message you earlier this morning to ask you if you wanted to do a live stream with me where I can just express again to you, and then you can throw your 2 cents in it too, maybe even throw some numbers out there to give some examples of shit about gematria. I'm real good at explaining why I think denying gematria because it sounds weird is fucking foolish. And maybe we should do a live stream about that, because I think I do that well, trying to break people down so that they let their fucking guard down so that they listen to you. Right. And man, we can stream like anytime this week, man. You just let me know and then we can begin to work it out. I'll text you. But even the Matrix was trying to keep the focus on me and Cuts, so that Cuts would have to admit that he can't even address whatever beef he was trying to make it look like me and him had without mentioning you. And if he couldn't explain it without mentioning you, then we were going to know right away that something was wrong. And that Cuss was just freaking out, barking up the wrong tree. And that's what the whole intent was. So it was, at the same time, it was kind of hard for me to address some of this shit. But you're right. There's a bunch of things that Wise said, that the Matrix said, that I was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, And part of it is that I really needed to take some notes so that I can back it up when I say this is the year when gematria and all these other things were formed that kind of came together to work together to help deceive us, the heliocentric model and the Gregorian calendar. It'd have been nice if I had the actual year, if I could spit some of the history without fail, without stuttering, like kick it the way you kick it. That's why I be trying to tell people, yeah, if y'all want to debate the legitimacy of gematria, y'all got to go talk to Zach at Gematria Effect News 25 and Gematria Effect Sports. If your hurdle is that's just dumb, that there's no way that that's anything more than coincidence, I'll break that wall down for you, because you got to stop thinking like that. And once I can knock that wall down, I'll send them to Zach. Now go talk to Zach with an open fucking mind. Just listen to him. Just listen to a video. You're going to feel weird about why these numbers keep doing that shit, with every element of the deception coming from the same group of people. And then it all tells the story. Then you go, that's unrelated. That's irrelevant. People, wow. If you want to talk like that, Zach, we can do that. And then you can tell me directly what things that they said that you wish that I would have stood up for. Because I never meant to fail and standing up for the fact that gematria is interesting, and anybody who can't rock with it is out of their minds. Anybody who won't even give it a fucking chance because it sounds weird is proven to me that all they gotta do is make you feel like that about something, and then they can get the truth right past you and then fool you with a lie. Anybody who can't circumvent this simple train of thought to just be open-minded, I know you can be fooled by anything. And people need to understand that. They need to address that. And if they can say, okay, I'll listen, then I'll go talk to Zach. Go talk to him. Listen to him. Just listen. And then ask yourself, what are the chances? What are the odds? How is this possible? Craziness. But RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. I got to get in, get back to work. Peace and love to y'all, man. Zach, I told you multiple times, man, what it is that you're doing is captivating. People should pay attention to it. You got me with the shit. And people say, oh, this is a cult. It's not a cult, motherfucker. Like, people try to be as extreme as they can with people who rock with gematria to try to make it look like you had to be hypnotized or evil. But what is it that Zach could possibly be doing to get over on me by telling me something that's untrue? Let's say it was untrue. What did Zach gain from me by it being untrue? Gematria does absolutely nothing but say that if you think that the government is evil, possibly even satanic and doing crazy shit, you're right, because they're doing straight up legit hardcore rituals that you can identify with an ancient culture that you can study on and see that they are mirroring that shit with a fucking language code in the English language that operates very much like Roman numerals that everybody understands and you accept it. But when I say the English language does this for these fucking reasons to match the satanic shit that you know y'all can see in the music and the movies, motherfuckers look at me like I'm crazy, and I think that's stupid. That's dumb, man. Kutz was trying to say that gematria was originally something else that's supposed to be this and that or whatever. There can be different forms, different times in history where it was used in different ways. None of that fucking matters. If gematria even looks like a formula that makes sense mathematically, I won't give a fuck if you call it gematria. You can call it any name that anybody can think of. You can call it whatever. The name in and of itself wouldn't even matter to me. If there's a pattern, a systematic mathematical pattern that you can lay over the English language that tells a consistent story that matches ancient fucking things and rituals and ceremonies and ancient events and all this other shit, it should match. Numbers shouldn't reveal a correlation between now and the past to the tune of what these motherfuckers are already doing, and we can see it. The American dollar looks crazy. Why the fuck would they put a pyramid on it? They did that for a reason. The number of the fucking stars and the fucking arrows that the Eagles hold, they don't do this shit arbitrarily. Because if China put the St. Louis Arch on their fucking money, I would want to know what the fuck China got to do with St. Louis. I wouldn't be wrong to wonder that and to fucking harp on it until I knew the fucking answer. But y'all look at the American dollar and y'all don't question that enough to lead it to this, to that, to this, and that, to fucking paint the story together. And gematria is the glue holding this shit together. I don't know what else to even think or see or feel about none of this shit but that. People are crazy and capable of being fooled. And we can talk about all this. Zach, salute to you, man. You're doing something amazing, man. And I'm glad that I know so I can look out for the shit and judge for my fucking self. And that's all I ever ask anybody to do. Wu Bang, man, get a gun today and don't be a bitch about it. Get one. Get two. Fuck, get three. The pistol, the shotgun, the rifle. Just like they do. Hell yeah, St. Louis is. That's why I said that. St. Louis is. Chicago is. D.C. All of these places hold great power so that they can use these things for ritualistic purposes, man. Obama and who's the black lesbian politician woman, the mayor of Chicago right now, they're linked. Gematria shows that they're linked, and they're right there in Chicago. Come on, man. These people have business all over the fucking place, but when their business starts to ring bells, to send signals, to create a narrative between events, you go, man, how is all of that happening, man? It's just weird to me, man. It's a spooky thing, and it's spooky on an entertainment level, more or less being fucking real for what it is that they're doing. Gematria is fucking weird to watch that shit happen. It's like, no way is it gonna do it again. The first video I saw, Zach, I was like, wow, that's fucking crazy. When you did another one, I was like, is it really everywhere? They'll show me another one. Then you show me another one, I went, oh my fucking God, what? And then by the fucking 100th video, I went from being shocked at first to just being amazed that it was still continuing, and every video still makes me go, I can't believe this shit is still going. I'm waiting for it to fall apart, but it won't fall apart, man. It won't fall apart. It's just weird to me. RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch, man. I love y'all, man. Buy a gun and stop trusting them. Buy a gun and stop